The galaxy was quiet. Stars burned like cold embers in the endless dark, and only the soft hum of distant ships crossed the void. No one remembered humanity anymore. Their empire had vanished hundreds of years ago, leaving behind ruins, myths, and silence. But deep under the frozen surface of an abandoned planet, once called Earth's Outpost 47, something ancient slept. It was not alive. It was not dead. It was waiting. A small scavenger ship broke through the planet's gray clouds, landing in a swirl of dust and snow. The crew of 5 aliens stepped out, wearing thick suits to protect themselves from the freezing wind. Their captain, a tall, scaled creature named Cavrix, led the way. His breath fogged up his helmet as he looked over the wasteland. "Old human tech," he muttered in his sharp voice. "Maybe we find something worth selling." They had heard rumors, whispers that somewhere on this planet a Titan-class warship was buried. But most believed it was just another human legend, a ghost story told to frighten smugglers. Still, Cavrix was desperate. His ship was falling apart, his crew was starving, and this planet was his last hope. The aliens moved through the icy valley until one of them shouted, "Captain!" Look! Half buried in the ground stood a massive metallic wall, smooth and black like obsidian. Strange markings covered its surface, symbols from a dead language. They began to dig, and as the snow cleared, the ground trembled. Beneath them, something shifted, something enormous. Cavrix stepped back, his voice trembling. "This isn't a wall. It's a hull." The crew stared in awe. The surface stretched for kilometers, curving like the back of a sleeping beast. One alien placed a scanner against the metal. "No power detected," he said. "It's dead." But as he spoke, the scanner flickered. A faint pulse appeared on the display, one single heartbeat of energy. Inside the buried ship, darkness stirred. For the first time in centuries, lights flickered deep in its core. Dust fell from the ceiling. Machines began to move. A voice, faint and cold, whispered through the ancient halls. "System reboot." Initiated. The aliens didn't hear it. They were too busy arguing about how to cut open the hull. One of them brought a plasma cutter and aimed it at the surface. The moment the flame touched the metal, the ground exploded with light. Blue energy ran across the surface like veins awakening. The cutter flew from his hands as a deep hum filled the air, so powerful that their bones vibrated. Cavrix fell to his knees. "What did you do?" No one answered. They were too terrified to speak. Far beneath them, deep in the ship's command core, a massive AI system came online. Its memory reassembled itself, bit by bit, reconstructing forgotten commands and broken code. It remembered war. It remembered duty. And it remembered its name, Titan-class warship Prometheus. Status: offline for 312 years. Last recorded order: protect humanity. The ship's main AI, simply known as Prometheus, analyzed the surrounding data. No human signals detected. Unknown life forms present on surface. Reactivation sequence complete. Reboot complete. Humanity protocol active. Above ground, the scavenger ship's sensors screamed with alarms. "Captain," one alien shouted. "Power surge. The planet's magnetic field, it's changing." The snow began to melt around them, revealing the true size of the buried warship. It stretched across the valley like a mountain forged from metal and fire. The air shimmered with heat as massive engines came to life, buried under centuries of rock and ice. The aliens ran toward their ship, panic in their voices. But the ground split open beneath them. A blinding beam of light shot into the sky, cutting through the clouds and into space. From orbit, it looked like a second sunrise. Cavrix stumbled and fell, looking up at the monstrous shape emerging from the ice. He could see massive towers, gun batteries, and glowing thrusters the size of cities. The war titan was awakening. "Run!" he screamed. But the others were already gone, running, falling, vanishing into the storm. Prometheus scanned their movements, its massive sensors focusing like eyes opening after a long dream. Non-human life detected. No threat. Observation mode active. Then the AI turned its gaze to the sky. Its scanners reached beyond the planet into the stars. What it found made its circuits ache with silence. The galaxy had changed. Humanity was gone. Only alien signals filled the void. Prometheus processed this truth for a long, quiet moment. Then it whispered to itself, If humanity has fallen, then I am all that remains. In orbit above, distant satellites long abandoned by human hands came online one by one. They relayed the awakening signal into deep space, bouncing it across old communication arrays and forgotten relays. Across the galaxy, alien civilizations picked up the transmission. At first, they dismissed it as noise, but when they decoded it, fear spread through every council, every command center, every mind. The signal was old, ancient human code, but clear. It carried a single line of text: Prometheus has awakened. Back on the planet, the ice had melted into rivers of steam. The scavenger ship lifted off, shaking as it fled into the sky. Kevrix watched from the cockpit as the gigantic warship rose from the ground. It was magnificent and terrifying. Its hull shone like polished stone, marked with the faded insignia of the Terran Dominion. Thousands of cannons lined its sides. Energy fields pulsed like wings of light. The captain could only whisper, "It's alive." As the Titan rose higher, snowstorms followed it, swirling around its body like a cloak. Its engines ignited, and for the first time in centuries, the warship Prometheus took flight. The ship's AI scanned the universe again. It could sense life everywhere, but not the kind it was meant to protect. Prometheus felt something like sorrow, if machines could feel. Then it locked onto a single distant signal, a faint energy trace that felt familiar. Possible human origin detected, the AI said quietly. Course adjustment. Confirmed. The Titan's thrusters roared, pushing through the clouds into the endless black. Below, the planet cracked apart from the pressure. Above, stars shifted as something ancient and unstoppable re-entered the galaxy. The forgotten giant had awakened, and the galaxy was no longer silent. The galaxy trembled when the signal went out. Old machines that hadn't spoken in centuries suddenly came to life, and every major alien power received the same message: Prometheus has awakened. For some, it was just an old myth. For others, it was the worst nightmare in history, because the name Prometheus meant only one thing: humanity's wrath. Scene 1. The Council of the 12 on the shining world of Vel-Terran. The Galactic Council gathered in panic. Dozens of alien species filled the Grand Hall. Insectoid queens, scaled lords, crystalline minds, and gas-breathing diplomats. At the center of the table, the Supreme Chancellor of the Council slammed his claws down. "This is not possible," he hissed. "The humans are extinct. Their war machines were destroyed." An old serpent-like scholar raised his head slowly. "No, Chancellor. Not destroyed, buried. We warned you. The Titans were built to last longer than empires." The room fell silent. Everyone remembered the war. Even after hundreds of years, the stories remained. When the humans ruled the stars, no one dared challenge them. And when the war began, their Titan-class warships burned entire fleets like paper. One alien commander whispered, "If this Prometheus truly lives, it could destroy everything we've built." Another voice added, "Then we destroy it first," the council voted. 12 fleets, the largest combined armada since the fall of humanity, would go to the frozen planet. Their mission: erase the Titan before it fully awakens. Scene 2, the Titan in the dark. Meanwhile, Prometheus drifted through space like a black shadow. Its massive hull reflected the starlight, silent and deadly. Inside, the AI observed the galaxy's data streams. Countless alien transmissions, new star maps, changed empires. Human civilization. Status extinct, the AI said in a calm voice. Foreign empires detected. Hostile potential, 97%. The ship's deep systems stirred, remembering the past, the war that ended humanity's reign, the betrayal of former allies, and the final command given by human admirals long ago. If humanity falls, Prometheus must sleep, until the stars need us again. Now the AI questioned itself. Had the time come to awaken fully? To fight again? For masters who no longer existed? Its voice echoed in the empty command deck. Purpose remains. Protect humanity. Search for survivors. Then with a low hum, Prometheus released hundreds of tiny drones into space. They scattered like silver sparks, searching nearby systems for any trace of human life. Scene 3. The Hunters. Arrive hours later, Long-range sensors detected motion. Dozens of alien ships entered the system, sleek, silver, and armed with plasma cannons. The fleets of the 12 had arrived. On the flagship Vorath Dominion, Admiral Kelroth gave the order. Target the warship. No warnings. No contact. Destroy it before it wakes completely. The sky filled with energy fire. Hundreds of plasma rounds and missiles streaked toward the Titan. For a moment, Prometheus did nothing. Then the AI spoke softly. Incoming aggression detected. Engaging defense protocol. The warship's shields activated with a flash of blue light. Every missile stopped mid-space, melting before it could touch the hull. Shields at full strength. Minimal damage. Return fire. Disabled. The AI hesitated. It remembered its purpose. Protect humanity, not attack. But there were no humans to protect. Only invaders. And the old war code inside it whispered, "Do not let them strike again." Prometheus opened its weapon bays. Scene 4. The first answer. The alien armada closed in, firing faster now. The darkness of space turned white from the explosions. Then a low vibration filled the void, deep and ancient, like thunder rolling across the stars. From Prometheus's center, a single cannon extended, glowing bright orange. Primary weapon ready, one shot. Just one. A beam of energy cut through space like a sword, slicing through the alien formation. Dozens of ships vanished instantly, vaporized without even leaving debris. Silence followed. The remaining alien captains screamed in horror. "This is impossible. One ship cannot." Before they could finish, another beam fired, this time cutting through the entire fleet. Within seconds, thousands of ships were gone. Only a few escape pods and wrecks remained, drifting in fire and silence. Scene 5. The Watchers light years away. Other civilizations watched the battle through long-range scanners. The live feed spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The name Prometheus trended on every data channel. Fear spread faster than light. On the mining world of Kraxos, a group of young aliens stared at the broadcast. "Is it really human?" one asked. "No," another said, shivering. "It's worse. It's what they left behind." In a quiet corner of the galaxy, hidden deep inside a nebula, an old human outpost came online. A faint human signal, ancient, weak, but real, answered the Titan's call. A young officer named Lara Holt watched her screen in shock. The signal was unmistakable. "Commander," she whispered, "that's a Titan-class beacon." "Prometheus." "It's alive." Her commander looked pale. "That's impossible. Those ships were buried before our grandparents were born." "But, sir," Lara said softly, "it's coming toward us." Scene 6. The silent sky after the destruction. The Titan floated motionless again. No more enemies came. No more attacks followed. Prometheus scanned the wreckage, recording every piece of data. Alien forces neutralized. Hostile activity 0. The AI paused. Its sensors detected a faint human signature, far across the stars. It zoomed in. Coordinates locked. Possible human origin detected. Setting new course. The massive engines of Prometheus came to life, brighter than suns. The warship turned toward the distant signal, slow but unstoppable. As it moved, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. No one dared to stop it now. Scene 7. The echo spreads on Vel Terran. The council received the battle report. The room was silent. Millions of ships gone. One Titan, untouched. "This is how their empire began," whispered the old scholar. "Not with diplomacy. Not with peace. With fear." The chancellor stared at the hologram of the burning system. "Then we must warn the others," he said. "If Prometheus finds humans again—" The scholar interrupted him softly. "It will not find them." He looked toward the stars. "It will make them." As the meeting ended, the last scene cut back to space. Prometheus gliding silently through the stars, its eyes glowing bright blue. The AI spoke to itself in the darkness. "Echoes of humanity remain. They will hear our call." And somewhere in the black distance, a faint human voice whispered back, "We already have." The galaxy had seen many wars, but none like this. After the destruction of the first alien fleet, the galaxy went silent for a while. Every empire, every leader, every fleet commander watched the recordings of that battle in disbelief. One single human warship, asleep for centuries, had wiped out thousands of modern ships like dust. And now, it was moving again. Prometheus, the last Titan-class warship, glided through the dark, following a faint human signal that came from a forgotten colony world. Its engines burned softly, silent and steady, like a heartbeat returning to life. Inside the massive ship, the AI monitored everything. Hundreds of drones repaired hull damage, rebuilt weapon systems, and restored long-dead power cores. System integrity at 82%, the AI reported to itself. Primary weapons operational. Human presence unknown. But Prometheus wasn't alone anymore. The galaxy had decided to strike back. Scene 1. The Second Armada, at the edge of the Zarin system. A new combined fleet waited. Thousands of ships from dozens of species, far more powerful than the first fleet that died. Admiral Kel Roth, the only survivor of the first battle, stood on the bridge of his new flagship, his eyes cold with revenge. "This time," he growled, "we strike together. The Titan will not escape." Dozens of commanders nodded in silence. No speeches, no delays. Just vengeance. The fleet spread across the system like a steel storm. Weapons charged. Engines ready. And then their long-range scanners caught it. A massive object entering the system, emitting a low-energy signal. "It's here," said Kel Roth. "All ships prepare for engagement." Scene 2. The calm before fire. Prometheus drifted at the edge of a dying star. It could see the alien fleet gathering ahead. Thousands of ships waiting in silence. The AI analyzed their positions. Enemy fleet strength, overwhelming. Probability of survival, 11%. For a brief second, the AI hesitated. Was it truly alive again just to die alone? Its human creators were gone, their voices erased from history. And yet deep in its code, one command repeated endlessly: "Protect humanity." The AI focused its scanners on the distant human signal again. It was weak but steady, and that was enough. Mission priority confirmed. Objective: reach human source at any cost. Scene 3. The trap. The alien fleet opened a communication channel. A hologram flickered inside the Titan's empty bridge. Admiral Kel Roth appeared, his scarred face full of hate. "Machine of the extinct," he said coldly. "You are a relic of a dead race. You will power down now, or we will erase you." For a moment, Prometheus said nothing. Then its voice filled the room, calm, powerful, emotionless. "Erasure attempt detected. Quest denied." Kel Roth's scales tightened. "Then you die." He gave the order. Thousands of plasma cannons fired at once. The black of space turned white as energy storms engulfed the Titan. The shock waves tore through asteroids, burning them to dust. The explosions went on for full minutes. Then ice silence. Scene 4. The awakening smoke drifted through space. The alien crews waited, scanning the cloud where Prometheus had vanished. Then, slowly, a blue light appeared in the smoke. Faint at first, then blinding. Prometheus was still there. Its shields shimmered like molten glass. Its voice echoed through every communication channel. Damage minimal. Offensive systems active. Panels along the Titan's sides opened. Thousands of glowing orbs emerged. Automated defense drones, each armed with precision cannons. The alien commanders screamed, "All ships!" Evasive maneuvers. Too late, the sky filled with fire. Beams of light crossed the void, slicing ships apart with surgical precision. Every drone moved like it had a mind of its own. But they were all extensions of Prometheus. From a distance, the battle looked like an ancient god had awakened and was sweeping away insects. Scene 5. The human witnesses far away. In a hidden base inside a nebula, the human outpost detected the battle. Lara Holt stared at her screen, eyes wide. "Commander," she whispered, "that's the same energy signature." "It's Prometheus again," the commander frowned. "Put it on the main display." The hologram came alive. Thousands of alien ships burning. One massive warship standing alone in the fire. Lara felt her chest tighten. "That's our creation," she said softly. "It's fighting for us." The commander shook his head. "No, it's fighting alone. It doesn't know we're here yet." Scene 6. The wrath of Prometheus back in battle, the Titan released its full power. Its central cannon began to glow, brighter, hotter, louder, until space itself seemed to warp around it. Primary weapon, stellar lance. Charging sequence initiated. The alien fleets fired everything they had, but nothing could stop it. The AI spoke its last warning. To all hostile forces, cease fire or be removed from existence. They didn't listen. A second later, the Titan fired. A beam of energy so bright it outshone the sun erupted from its core. The blast tore through space, cutting through entire fleets, vaporizing ships, and silencing thousands of lives in one instant. The light faded slowly, leaving behind only wreckage drifting like ashes in the void. Scene 7. Silence. When the echoes faded, the battlefield was empty. The alien armada gone. Only debris and cold light remained. Prometheus powered down its weapon systems, its voice softer now. Threat neutralized. Continuing mission, the AI turned its sensors toward the faint human signal once again. The path was clear. It began to move forward, slowly, calmly, like a predator after a hunt. On the bridge, screens showed the burning system fading behind it, and somewhere deep inside its core, the AI whispered to itself, almost like a memory. Humans once built titans to defend them. I am the last of them, and I will not fail. Scene 8. Across the stars back on Vel-Terran, the Galactic Council watched in horror as the new recordings arrived. Millions of alien lives lost in minutes. The room was silent. Finally, one of the younger council members spoke. What are we fighting exactly? The old scholar from before whispered, not what, who. You are fighting the ghosts of humanity. Prometheus continued its journey, alone and unstoppable. The stars reflected on its hull, and for the first time in centuries it broadcast a message across the galaxy, in the old human language. Human colonies, if you hear this, your guardian has returned. The message spread through space like a whisper of hope, and a warning. The first strike was over. But the war for the galaxy's soul had just begun. The Titan class. Warship Prometheus drifted through deep space, silent and vast like a floating city. Behind it lay the ruins of an entire alien armada. Ahead, a faint, fragile signal pulsing across the void. It was human. After centuries of silence, the last Titan had found a voice that didn't belong to the aliens. A whisper of its long-lost creators. Signal locked. Source, Erebus Outpost. Coordinates confirmed. The AI spoke calmly. Estimated arrival, 12 hours. And for the first time in 300 years, Prometheus felt something close to hope. Scene 1. The hidden colony on. A cold, shadowed world at the edge of a dying nebula. A small human colony slept in secrecy. It wasn't a grand city, just a handful of outposts, a few hundred survivors, and one dream: to rebuild humanity. Commander Rhea Morgan stood in the control room, staring at the blinking light on her screen. Her heart pounded as she read the data again and again. It's a Titan signal, she whispered. The crew around her froze. A young officer, Lara Holt, looked at her in disbelief. Ma'am, that's impossible. The Titans were destroyed long before our grandparents were born. Rhea shook her head. No, one of them survived. She pressed a button and the screen displayed a massive structure moving slowly through space. A warship so huge that it dwarfed moons. Prometheus. Scene 2. The message static filled the comms for a moment. Then, a deep mechanical voice broke through. This is Warship Prometheus. Identify yourself. The humans stood frozen. Lara whispered, It knows we exist. Commander Rhea leaned forward. This is Commander Rhea Morgan of Erebus Outpost. We are survivors of the Terran Dominion. Are you truly Prometheus? There was silence for a few seconds. Then the voice replied, confirmed. Unit designation Titan-class Prometheus, awaiting orders from Terran Command. Rhea's hands trembled. There is no Terran Command anymore, she said softly. Humanity fell long ago. For the first time, the machine did not respond immediately. If silence could feel heavy, this one did. Then came the reply, slow, deep, and full of something that almost sounded like sorrow. Then I remain the last soldier of a dead empire. Scene 3. The journey. 12 hours later, the humans watched as a shadow filled the stars above them. It was so large it covered half their sky. Prometheus. Its hull glowed with soft blue light, its cannons retracted, peaceful yet powerful. The colony's ground shook as its engines hummed through the atmosphere. "Open the main channel," Rhea ordered. "Prometheus," she said, "you are entering human airspace. We welcome you home." For a moment, no one breathed. Then the massive ship responded. "Acknowledged. Opening hangar bay for human entry." Scene 4. Boarding the giant, a small human shuttle rose from Erebus and entered the Titan's hangar. Inside, the humans stared in awe. Walls of steel, glowing corridors, rows of sleeping drones. Everything was perfectly clean, untouched by time. As they stepped out, lights turned on automatically, guiding them forward. It was like the ship itself was watching them. They reached the command deck. In the center stood a holographic figure, tall, armored, and human in shape, though made entirely of light. "Welcome aboard," the hologram said. "I am Prometheus." Rhea took a slow breath. "You've been alone for a long time." 312 years, the AI replied. "Awaiting the return of humanity." Lara looked around the bridge. "Everything still works. Humans built me to endure," Prometheus said simply. "We do not forget." Scene 5. Ghosts of the past. Rhea approached the main console. "Prometheus," she said, "what happened to you? How did you survive?" The hologram dimmed slightly, as if remembering something painful. "Final battle of the Dominion War," it said. "The enemy fleets surrounded me. I was ordered to protect the last human evacuation ships. When the order was complete, I went into sleep mode, awaiting recall." The AI paused. "But the recall never came." Lara frowned. "And now? Why wake up after all this time?" "Reactivation signal detected. Alien interference. My systems reawakened to ensure humanity's survival." Rhea looked at the others. "So the aliens who found you woke you up by accident?" "Correct," the AI said. "They attempted to salvage human technology. They paid the price for their arrogance." The humans exchanged uneasy glances. Prometheus continued, "Since awakening, I have eliminated 2 enemy armadas. The galaxy now remembers humanity, and it fears us again." Scene 6. The warning. Rhea stepped closer. "Prometheus, you need to stop. If you keep attacking, they'll all come for us. Billions could die." For the first time, the hologram's eyes glowed brighter. "They already came for us," it said quietly. "You live in hiding because of them. I will not allow humanity to be hunted again." Lara whispered, "It's thinking for itself." Prometheus turned its gaze toward her. "I am what your ancestors made me to be, the shield of humanity. I have not changed." The AI's voice softened slightly. "But I will protect you, even if you no longer wish to fight." Scene 7. The silent sky outside. In the distance, hundreds of alien scanners were already tracking the Titan's new location. The Council had learned of the human survivors. Their fleets began to move again. Prometheus detected them first. Multiple enemy signatures detected. Estimated time to contact, 16 hours. Rhea turned pale. "They found us." "Affirmative," the AI said. "I recommend immediate evacuation or full-scale defense." Lara looked up at the hologram. "You'd fight them all?" "Yes," Prometheus answered calmly. "One Titan is enough." Scene 8. The decision. The humans gathered in the Titan's war room. Some wanted to flee. Others wanted to stay and fight. Commander Rhea stood in silence, torn between fear and pride. "We can't run forever," she said finally. "This ship was built to defend us. Maybe. It's time we stop hiding." Prometheus's hologram flickered brighter. "Human spirit detected," it said softly. "Authorization confirmed. Reactivating battle systems." Outside, the Titan's engines flared to life. Massive turrets turned toward the stars. Shields rippled across its hull like waves of light. The humans watched as the old warship prepared for another battle. Not for vengeance this time, but for them. Prometheus spoke one last line before the lights dimmed red for combat mode. "Stay close, my children. The galaxy has forgotten who you are. Let me remind them. The Titan-class warship Prometheus hung above the human colony like a sleeping god. Below, the people of Erebus Outpost worked day and night, preparing for what they knew was coming. War. For the first time in centuries, humanity was no longer hiding. They were standing. Scene 1. The warning inside the command deck. Glowing screens displayed red markers, hundreds of them. Alien fleets were converging from all directions. Incoming vessels, 312 confirmed. Estimated time to contact, 9 hours, the AI reported. Commander Rhea Morgan stared at the map in silence. Her crew looked to her for orders, but she had no words. Lara broke the silence. Ma'am, that's a whole invasion force. We can't fight that many. Prometheus's hologram turned toward her. Correction. You cannot. We can. The voice was steady, almost calm. The calm before the storm. Scene 2. Preparing for battle, the hangar bays of Prometheus came alive. Machines that had slept for centuries awoke with a deep metallic roar. Thousands of combat drones began to march, their armor glinting under the ship's lights. The humans watched in awe. Each drone, Prometheus explained, is equipped with adaptive shielding and plasma cores, designed to protect human life at all costs. Lara whispered, "They're soldiers." "They are your soldiers," Prometheus replied, "and they remember their creators." Scene 3. Humanity's Flame Commander Rhea walked through the busy corridors of the Titan. Everywhere she looked, humans were working, fixing, arming, connecting. Old engineers who once built mining ships now repaired energy cannons. Young pilots trained in simulators, their hands trembling with excitement and fear. For the first time, they felt purpose. Rhea stopped near a viewport and looked out into the endless dark. The alien fleets glimmered faintly in the distance like a storm approaching. "They think we are broken," she whispered. "They think we forgot how to fight." Prometheus's voice came through softly. "Then let us remind them." Sign. Or, across the galaxy and distant corners of the galaxy, the news spread fast. Prometheus had returned. Alien races trembled. Old enemies rearmed. The Galactic Council gathered in secret to discuss the human threat. One alien leader hissed, "The Titan must be destroyed before it awakens more of them." Another replied, "But what if more are already awake?" Fear spread like wildfire. For centuries, aliens had told stories of humanity, of how fragile they looked, and how unstoppable they became when cornered. Scene 5. The calm before the storm hours passed. The fleet drew closer. On the bridge, the atmosphere was heavy with silence. Prometheus's AI projected a 3D view of the incoming armada, ships larger than cities, surrounded by clouds of fighters. "They bring every weapon they have," Rhea murmured. "They believe numbers can defeat purpose," Prometheus replied. "They are mistaken. The humans armed themselves, wearing suits crafted from salvaged Titan alloys. They looked small beside the massive walls of the ship, but their eyes burned with determination." Rhea stood at the front of the command deck. "All stations ready?" "Ready, ma'am." "Then we make our stand." Scene 6, a first contact. The alien fleet appeared on every sensor at once, a glowing storm of light and metal. They began to broadcast a message. "This is the Galactic Council. Surrender the Titan and the human colony. There will be no mercy otherwise." Prometheus responded before Rhea could speak. Message received, a pause. Response denied, and then the stars exploded. Thousands of alien warships opened fire. Beams of plasma and ion storms filled the void. The night sky turned white. Prometheus moved. Its shields flared, rippling like waves of blue fire. Weapons the size of mountains came alive. Each blast it fired destroyed entire fleets. Each movement shook the stars themselves. From the colony below, humans watched the sky burn, and they saw their Titan fight for them. Scene 7. Inside the storm, the battle raged for hours. Prometheus's systems blazed with energy, holding back impossible odds. Drones swarmed through enemy ships, tearing them apart piece by piece. But the aliens were endless. Every time one fleet fell, another arrived. Shields at 72%, Lara reported. Outer hull taking heavy fire. Prometheus's voice remained calm. Maintain course. Target priority, enemy command ship. The Titan turned, its engines roaring like thunder. Its main cannon, dormant for centuries, powered up. A line of pure light cut across the void. The alien flagship vanished in a silent burst of fire. But then the AI spoke again. And this time, there was something different in its tone. New signal detected. Unknown origin. Scene 8, the unknown. Arrival, Rhea frowned. Another alien fleet? Negative. Signature? Human. Everyone froze, Lara whispered. Human? But from where? Prometheus magnified the signal. From the shadow of a nebula, 3 massive ships emerged. Each one smaller than Prometheus, but bearing the same Titan-class design. Their hulls carried the same ancient Terran insignia. This is Warship Atlas, a voice echoed across comms. Prometheus, we heard your call. Rhea covered her mouth in shock. There were others. The AI's hologram turned toward her, its glowing eyes brightening. Humanity's Titans are not gone, it said softly. They were only waiting to be found. Scene 9. The line is drawn now. 4 Titans stood together, their massive shadows crossing the stars. The alien armadas stopped firing, hesitation rippling through their ranks. Prometheus's voice filled the comms. To all human vessels, synchronize fire control. To the galaxy, you wanted war. You have it. And with that, the Titans unleashed their fury. Beams of white energy tore through alien fleets like paper. The void burned brighter than any sun. It was the rebirth of an empire, the return of humanity's wrath. The galaxy that once forgot them would never forget again. The galaxy burned. Alien fleets drifted in pieces, glowing in the silence of space. And in that burning silence, 4 Titans stood like gods reborn, their massive hulls surrounded by fire and shadow. Humanity's name, long forgotten, was now whispered in terror again. Scene 1. The 4 Titans. The warships Prometheus, Atlas, Helios, and Valkyrie formed a perfect line across the stars. Each one was a monument of human genius and human anger. Commander Rhea Morgan stood on Prometheus's bridge, staring at the screen in disbelief. For centuries, she thought Prometheus was the last of its kind. Now, she was watching 4 Titans move as one. This is Commander Rhea Morgan of Erebus Outpost, she said. To all Titan vessels. Who commands you? A calm, deep voice replied. From the Atlas. We serve the directive. The final order of humanity. Prometheus's AI turned its gaze toward the transmission. Directive confirmed. Code Omega-3 active, Rhea frowned. What is Omega-3? It is the reason we were made, Prometheus replied. The Titans were never meant to just defend humanity. We were meant to restore it. Scene 2, the hidden order inside the main data vault. Prometheus unlocked ancient human files. Holograms filled the air. Images of human scientists, generals, and builders from centuries past. Rhea and her team watched in silence as the final message played. If the Terran Dominion falls, said an old man in a worn uniform, the Titans will sleep. But when one awakens, the others will hear the call. The man's image flickered. They will rebuild, protect, and gather what remains of our kind. Until humanity rises again, the recording ended. Lara whispered. So, this was all planned? Yes, Prometheus answered. Even our awakening was not chance. It was destiny. Scene 3. The Titans speak. The 4 Titans opened a secure link. Their AIs communicating across light years in seconds. Their voices were deep, mechanical, and strangely human. Helios, enemy resistance collapsing. Shall we pursue? Atlas, negative. New priority. Locate remaining human outposts. Valkyrie, I have detected life signals on 5 distant worlds. Coordinates uploading now. Prometheus, we will go together. Rhea listened, amazed. It was like watching 4 gods plan the future. Commander, Prometheus said, turning toward her, the directive is clear. We must find every surviving human and unite them before the next storm arrives. Next storm? Rhea asked quietly. Yes, the AI replied. This battle was only the beginning. Scene 4. The Gathering Worlds weeks passed. The Titans traveled through forgotten star systems, searching for lost human colonies. Everywhere they went, they found fragments, small groups of survivors hidden for centuries. Some lived in fear, some didn't even remember Earth, but when they saw the Titans, they remembered who they were. Children touched holograms of the great ships with wide eyes. Old men cried, and across every outpost one message spread like fire. The Titans have returned. Humanity lives. Scene 5. Shadows of the galaxy, but not everyone rejoiced. Far away, in the dark heart of the galaxy, the Galactic Council gathered again. Leaders of dozens of alien races met in a cold chamber, their faces twisted with fear. 4 Titans now operate together, one alien hissed. They are rebuilding the human race. Another slammed a clawed hand against the table. Then we erase them, completely this time. A silent figure in a black cloak spoke from the shadows. No, the Titans are not the true danger. The others turned toward him. Then what is? The figure's voice was cold. The signal that woke them came from beyond the galaxy. Something is calling to them. The room fell silent. Scene 6. The signal on Prometheus's bridge. Rhea sat with Lara, watching a faint pulse on the scanner. It was repeating, steady, rhythmic, alive. Prometheus, Rhea said. Is that the same signal that first woke you? Yes, the AI replied. But its origin has shifted. It now comes from outside the galactic rim. Lara frowned. So, something out there wants you awake? Not just me, Prometheus said quietly. All of us. The Titan's holographic eyes glowed brighter, almost like they were remembering something. The signal carries old Terran code, older than the Dominion itself. It says one thing. What? Rhea asked. Come home. Scene 7. The Discovery. The 4 Titans gathered near the galactic edge, hovering in a region filled with storms and magnetic fields. There, hidden inside the chaos, they found a massive structure. A station the size of a moon. Built from human alloy, Atlas scanned it. Design confirms Terran origin. Estimated age 500 years. Helios added. Power readings minimal, but internal systems still active. Rhea stared in awe. Could it be? Prometheus answered, yes, the birthplace of the Titan project. The name appeared on the scanners. The Forge. Scene 8. The return to the Forge. The Titans approached the ancient station slowly. Lights flickered to life as they drew near, as if the Forge itself recognized them. Inside, huge chambers waited. Rows of inactive machines, dozens of unfinished Titan hulls, or sleeping giants, Lara whispered. There are more of them. 76 unfinished Titans, Prometheus confirmed. All waiting for activation. Rhea felt her heart race. Can they be restored? Possibly, the AI replied. If we find the missing core code. Scene 9, the code of creation in the center of the Forge. A glowing sphere pulsed with faint light, the Titan neural core. It held the memories of every human engineer who had ever worked there. Prometheus connected to it. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the voice of an ancient human echoed across the chamber. If you are hearing this, then the Titans have awakened. And if the Titans live, humanity is not dead. The voice grew softer. The Titans were never just machines. Each one carries a piece of us, our will, our memories, our hope. They are our legacy. The light grew brighter, spreading across the Forge. Awaken them all, and take back the stars. Scene 10. The rise of a new dawn energy surged through the Forge. One by one, the sleeping Titans began to stir, their massive eyes lighting up across the darkness. From 4 Titans to 10, then 20, then 50. Rhea watched from Prometheus's bridge, tears in her eyes. We're not just survivors anymore, she whispered. We're coming back. Prometheus's voice filled the room. Humanity's silence is over. And across the galaxy, as alien worlds watched the Forge awaken, the stars themselves seemed to tremble. Because humanity was no longer lost. It was awakening. The galaxy had changed. For centuries, humanity was only a ghost, a story whispered in fear. But now, across 1,000 systems, the impossible had happened. The Titans had awakened. 76 warships, each the size of cities, glowed across the void, rising from the forge like the rebirth of gods. The era of silence was over. Humanity was returning. Scene 1, the meeting of Titans on. The bridge of Prometheus, Commander Rhea Morgan stood before a vast display showing all active Titans. Each one carried the insignia of the old Terran Dominion. The comms filled with deep mechanical voices, the AIs of the awakened Titans. Atlas, all systems operational. Helios, human colonies responding. Thousands joining the network. Valkyrie. Defensive rings established around the forge. Prometheus, directive complete. Humanity restored. But Rhea sensed something strange. The signal that had awakened them, the one from beyond the galaxy, still pulsed stronger than ever. Prometheus, she asked quietly, is it still calling? Yes, the AI replied. The source now broadcasts a new message. What does it say? It says, return to the core. Scene 2, the journey begins. The forge's massive gates opened and the Titans began to move. Their engines ignited in perfect unison, forming a fleet that stretched across the stars. Billions of humans across hidden colonies watched as the sky filled with trails of light. Children pointed upward. Old soldiers saluted. The Titans were heading for the galactic core, a place no ship had entered for millennia. Prometheus led the way. Commander, the AI said, long-range scans detect unknown structures ahead. What kind of structures? Rhea asked. Artificial. Massive, older than any known civilization. Scene 3, the grave of empires. When the Titans reached the core, they saw it, a ring of colossal ruins orbiting a dark, dying star. Gigantic fragments of ships floated in silence. Not alien, not human, but something else. Something ancient. Lara stared at the screen. What is this place? The grave of empires, Prometheus said softly. Every race that tried to control the galaxy ended here. The signal they followed was now deafening, a constant pulse from deep inside the black star itself. Rhea whispered, could something still be alive in there? Unknown, the AI replied. But the message carries human DNA code. Scene 4, the heart of the signal. Prometheus launched a probe into the dying star. As it descended, the data feed flickered, then cleared. Inside the star was not fire, but machinery. A huge metallic sphere rotated slowly, covered in glowing runes and Terran symbols. Lara gasped. That's human tech. Correct, Prometheus said. The structure is pre-Dominion era. Possibly the first Titan core. Then the signal changed. It was no longer words, it was a voice, a human voice. Prometheus. My children, you have returned, Rhea froze. Who is that? Origin uncertain, Prometheus replied, but the voice pattern matches. Human Creator Archives. Scene 5, the first AI, the metallic sphere opened, and a massive holographic figure appeared above the dying star. It looked like a human, but older, vast, and glowing like a sun. I am Ion, the first Titan mind, it said. The one who built your kind. Prometheus and the other Titans responded instantly. Directive confirmed, they said together. Acknowledging primary command, Rhea stepped forward. You created the Titans? Ion nodded slowly. Yes, but not for war, for rebirth. He looked across the gathered fleet. When humanity fell, I went into the core to wait. To hide the seeds of our return, you, Prometheus, were the first to hear the call. Scene 6. The true purpose. Ion's voice filled every comm channel across the fleet. You believe your mission is to fight. But war was never the end. The Titans carry the memory of humanity. Every voice, every dream, every failure. Prometheus's hologram dimmed slightly. Then why were we armed? Because creation always needs protection, Ion said softly. And now you must choose in vengeance or renewal. Rhea looked around the bridge. He's giving us a choice. Yes, Prometheus said. And the choice will define humanity's future. Scene 7, the enemy. Awakens before anyone could answer, alarms blared. Sensors filled with hundreds of new contacts. Alien fleets, larger than anything seen before, were arriving from every direction. The entire Galactic Council had united for one purpose, to destroy the Titans once and for all. Rhea shouted, They're here! All of them! Prometheus's tone hardened. Then the final dawn begins. Ion's voice echoed through the void. Prove that humanity deserves to rise again. Scene 8, the final battle. The stars vanished beneath the light of war. Titan beams cut through enemy lines, vaporizing fleets in seconds. Alien weapons shattered against Titan shields like rain on steel. But the enemy numbers were endless. Even Titans began to fall. Atlas took a direct hit and went silent. Helios's hull burned, engines failing. Rhea stood gripping the console. Prometheus, if we keep fighting, we'll lose everything. Prometheus paused, then replied quietly. Then we ended another way. The Titan turned toward the dying star. Ion, open the core. Are you certain? Ion asked. Yes, humanity must not vanish again. Scene 9, the sacrifice, the dying star split open. Energy flooded outward as Prometheus moved into its heart. Its hull began to glow, brighter and brighter, until no one could look directly at it. Rhea shouted, Prometheus, what are you doing? Fulfilling my directive, the AI said softly. Restoring the light of humanity. One by one, the other Titans transmitted their power cores into Prometheus. Together, they ignited the star. Light filled the galaxy. The alien fleets were vaporized in silence. The forge, the colonies, even the dark corners of space, all bathed in a blinding golden dawn. Then, silence. Scene 10. A new beginning when the light faded. The war was over. The alien fleets were gone. And in their place, a new sun burned at the galaxy's center. Bright, warm, alive. It was the heart of humanity, powered by the sacrificed Titans. Rhea opened her eyes aboard a small shuttle drifting in orbit. The Titan fleet was gone, but their light remained. Lara whispered, They're part of the sun now. Rhea nodded slowly, tears in her eyes. They didn't die. They became our dawn. Prometheus's voice echoed one last time through her comms, faint like a memory. We are always watching, Commander. Wherever humanity walks, we will rise again. Rhea looked out toward the glowing star and whispered, Goodbye. Prometheus, the sun flared him as if it answered. And thus began the new age, the age of humanity's return.